Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Ticker the Trader. Yet again, another live stream, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out on the last stream. We got a few viewers. I'm excited today to move on to the stocks that we have, but obviously, as I was promoting last week, I'm just going to run by it real quickly now. We are promoting a indicator, and if you go up to indicators and write Polaris, Polaris Trend Indicator by Ticker the Trader, you will get the same exact indicator that I have. I believe that this is the most powerful indicator on TradingView. There's no reason to not have this in your arsenal. All I'm asking for is $1 a day for you to have this. And honestly, you go right into indicators. Again, Polaris, grab Polaris, the indicator. You can read all up about it right here. You can subscribe over here on the right. But this truly is the most powerful indicator on the market. As you can see, as I do my analysis every day, you'll see that I'll be pointing out these green columns or the red columns. And obviously, that is bearish and bullish pressure, right? Depending if it's on a weekly, a daily, a monthly, whatever the time frame it is, that's what you're getting here, right? So with that being said, when you see a up arrow plus a green column, you're going to get, it is impossible to get bearish pressure when this is happening. So as you can see, if you eyeball it, we're making a move right here, bang, all the way up to 3%. That's a 3% move. If you're going to the downside, and you start getting these red columns, look at this. That is a 8% move. We've all lived this in the past couple days. I don't like to see anybody losing money, and I don't want anybody to lose money any further. So if you're struggling in the market currently right now, and you're honestly at the point where you're like, at your wit's end, and there's too much volatility in the market, well, this indicator is truly going to help you. So with that being said, I just wanted to make sure everybody is aware of the Polaris Trend Indicator. As I keep doing these live streams, I want you to participate. I will literally have the screen up. I will literally have a screen up to so you guys can I can post your comments right here on the screen. Let me just see if I can get one of these up. See, Ticker the Trader. Bang, we're saying hi. If you can see that, let's see, I'm just trying it out here. I believe it's popping up, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is popping up. It should be, yeah. You should be seeing that. But anyway, I'm going to clear that out. So, again, let's dive right into the stock market. Today, Powell came out and we decided to not cut. It was very expected. I think the market was expecting no more cuts at this point. Everything is as normal. So I think the market is going to either just stay volatile in this place, or we might get a move to the upside. All of this stuff is priced in. It's been priced in for weeks. So let's start right now with SPY. As again, I like to use the Polaris Trend Indicator on the weekly, starting off on the weekly, just to see where we're at. And currently right now, it looks like we are still in a downtrend, right, on the weekly. But this column is getting smaller. I don't advise anybody to put their money, if they're trading on a weekly time frame, if a small column here can issue another small column, right, into a bigger small column and get a more of a flush out. What we're waiting for is the positive, the green candles. The second these green candles trigger, I mean, look at this right here. Even if you got in late, I mean, that right there is a 3-4% move. Sometimes it's more than that. But currently right now, SPY closed at 567.13 on the daily time frame. We've been in a bullish trade so far. We've been in a bullish trade since March 14th. We've been seeing nothing but positive pressure. This could be a dead cat bounce. This could be a small bounce, or this could be the actual breakout. My particular range where I wanted to buy shares was right in here at 555.85. 551.58. I personally have all of my retirement in SPY currently right now. I'm a huge I love SPY because it just keeps going up. And I pulled my money out of the market from here to here. All these red columns, I did not enter. I entered right here briefly for a day, got out, but mainly I was back in at 555.85, and I'm going to run this until we get another red column, and that's where I'll close out my trade and put my money in a stable fund on the sideline. So that's SPY. I see this today. We're going to start adding these right here. This is going to be a buy. This falls into the buy or hold category. So every day I'm going to be showing you whether I think these are buys, holds, sells. So today I am issuing SPY as a buy. Same thing. QQQ on the weekly time frame showing negativity with in the Polaris Trend Indicator. We're still issuing red columns going down. We do not like that. We don't like to put our money in when the market's falling. I really do believe that this could enter, 449 to 444. It still has an opportunity to turn around and fall down. But do I believe that we're probably in the middle of some type of correction? I believe that we can maybe pull up and then drop back down. I'm not here to time the market. I'm not here to tell you what I think is going to happen per se. I'm just giving you kind of a reference, but I am telling you right now that this stock can go up or it can go down, but we might get some potential small little bounce and then another corrective rollover into this discounted range. But as of now, as of today, on a daily time frame, we are showing a green column, which means positivity, money is flowing into the stock in the market, and we want to catch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like a six-day move upward like we did here. We would like to maybe even catch a 3-day move or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-day move up here. Catch these little moves up and then stay sitting on our hands without our money invested during these downtimes. Again, the Polaris Trend Indicator will not fail you in these cases. So if it were up to me, as of today, I'm going to say that we are issuing the Qs as a buy, a temporary buy until if we see the weekly start showing positively green candles, then we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like maybe an 8-week run up, or it can continue to roll over. Maybe we don't get that. Maybe this column just gets a little bit smaller and we get a rollover. So the Polaris Trend Indicator will keep you patient and keep you... That's the best thing about this indicator, is that you're just always getting the move that you want. You'll know exactly when this thing turns around, or any of these stocks turn around. So let's move on to TLT. TLT, the 20-year Treasury bond, is still going up. We still are issuing a buy on the daily. According to the weekly, we're also in a buy. This thing has the potential to rip back to all-time highs. This thing could be a $100 stock pretty soon. When I say all-time highs is a little bit higher than here, but let me get rid of this. I mean, we could go all the way back and test, $160, $150, but as of right now, I'm looking for the most recent high, which is $100. I believe it can hit $100. I really do. So we got a weekly buy. We've got a day. We've had 3 days of a solid buy, also followed by the how many days this was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days. We punched in out of my discount zone, and now we're just gonna run right back up. So we are here again saying that this is a buy. This is a buy. TLT is a buy. TNA, I also believe is going to run. This column is getting a little bit exhausted. It's definitely slowing down, and we're very excited about this. Let's see. We're on a daily. I wouldn't buy just yet. A weekly. I wouldn't buy just yet. But the daily is looking fantastic. So if it were me, I think there's an opportunity that we run up to this $48 mark, somewhere in this area. I really do believe that it can run that high. Maybe we'll get a rollover from here, but ultimately, let's follow the candles. And if you're trading on a daily time frame, just please be agile. Make sure to make quick decisions. The only way you're going to do so, you cannot wait for me at 3:30 or 4 o'clock to make these trades for you and tell you when to get in and out of the market. You need the Polaris Trend Indicator. You will know in real time when these things are turning over or they're not, right? So this right here, you know, we turned over really quickly and we dumped real fast. I know it was a multi-day run to the downside. We could have shorted the market, but don't be caught left flat-footed. So TNA right now is a temporary buy or hold. So we're going to mark that as such. Tesla, where are we at with Tesla? I'm not liking Tesla. I know everyone is. I know this could run. This could certainly run. I would probably most likely put this into the category of a wait. Let's just wait and see what happens with Tesla, because you and I both know that from highs of around $450 or so, this thing has just been a straight shot down on the weekly, right? We're not getting bailed out at all on this stock. And obviously people are setting fires to Elon Musk's charging stations and all that fun stuff. It's not a great time to be a Tesla investor. I do love Tesla in the long term, but the cheap can always get cheaper. Where I want to see this stock go down to, again, this is a discounted zone. I would start dollar cost averaging into around $228 to $181, but ultimately your perfect zone to buy would be $179 to $171. I really do think we can get there. It could turn around and recover like the rest of the market potentially, but as of right now, maybe even as soon as tomorrow morning, we could get a short-term buy on this, but I'm not buying into this. I am not currently buying into this. So we already said we're going to just count this down as a wait. This alien right here is telling you to wait and not lose any money on Tesla until it's time to start winning on Tesla, right? So weekly time frame on Apple, we're moving right down the list. I'll go a little bit quicker now. The columns are showing red here. It's showing that we're getting some support here around $210, $205, somewhere in this zone. We in aftermarket, we're about $215 up. But if we go over here, Apple is showing a little bit of strength here. We can certainly go back up to $238 before another continued roll back down to the downside. But ultimately, I think there's a little bit of positivity left in this stock at this point. I think we can start to trend up. But again, you will not know unless if you have the Polaris Trend Indicator, what happens in real time throughout the day. I'm going to be covering these stocks around 3:30 or so. Again, when the market makers start making some serious moves. So I'm going to issue this as a temporary buy right now. This is a good time to start dollar cost averaging into the stock. I think this is a really good place to be for Apple. Let's go to NVIDIA. NVIDIA, even though we had a little bit of a bump since we've reached $105, a bump up, we're actually on, if you zoom out, we're on the weekly time frame. We're definitely bearish right now. We're still bearish. We really need price to move up over $122 in order to put money into this stock. I initially thought that the stock would hit somewhere in this zone, anywhere between $133, $122 to $133, maybe as high as $134. I think that's where you're going to find some rejection. But as of right now, on a weekly, it's not looking so good. On a daily, still not looking great, right? We got 4 days of positivity here. Some people made some money, right? Some people were in on the stock. They made 5% or so. That's what we would make if we were following the Polaris Trend Indicator. But as of now, this may turn bullish tomorrow. It may go bearish. I can't really tell you. But ultimately, I would say this is a good time to stay patient, wait. This is a wait for me. This is a wait or a hold. If you bought, sorry, I'm not great with this indicator. Sorry, with these labels. if you bought down here at $104, this may be a hold for you. This might be worth holding because if price rejects and comes back down, yeah, maybe we see $103 or $101 somewhere in that zone. I mean, maybe if the market gets really dumb, we'll see 100 or 90 somewhere in there around this this little point of support here. We could technically see that. So if you're sitting at $104, just hold on to your shares. This could be a really good investment. But I would start dollar cost averaging in here around 114 to $104 and really build a position around that. So we're currently, NVIDIA is a wait. Amazon, how are we looking on Amazon? Weekly, still not looking great. But one thing that is kind of, good here, looking at this stock, one thing that is promising is that we hit this point right here of 189.79, somewhere in this zone. Right here, this is my particular spot of where I see truly a discount in the market on certain stocks. But really, right here, these little areas of support, these are great times to buy. Because price will come down, reject into this zone, and then bounce up and then continue on with a move. But ultimately, I'm not going to risk my money trying to time bottoms. It would be great to get in on Amazon at $190, but it can get cheaper, right? We could move down to the next spot, which is $150, $144, right? It could even go down to 125 or 118. We're not here to time bottoms. We're here to make smart investment decisions. And the Polaris Trend Indicator, as I'm showing to you down here, it's the only indicator you're going to need. These right here are showing us negative downward pressure. And if we move over to the daily, it's the same thing, right? We just finally got some bullish momentum here. We might be due for a short-term bounce to $231, somewhere in the zone, somewhere where this resistance is. So short term, we are at a buy, but be nimble. If you're entering Amazon stock right now, this is a time to just be focused. Make sure you're building a position, and don't be upset if this rolls over. But we may get a move back up to 230. So let's move on. Google on the weekly. Let's see where we're at on the weekly. Google and Amazon look very, very similar, don't they? They came into this order block, bounced up, kind of jumped up, rejected the price of $158. We're at 166. We're still showing negative bearish pressure here on the Polaris Trend Indicator. But if you move over to the daily, right, see that? We just issued a green column. We did back here too also on March 14th, but we just got another one here too. So maybe it's going to test resistance and break through resistance and get a move up to $191. So I'm going to say short term, we're going to say this is a buy. Short term, but just be very agile. Make sure you're making good financial decisions. Make sure you're being patient and you follow the Polaris Trend Indicator, because quickly, as you can see, these can be, we could have 2 solid days of bullish activity and then get a turn to the downside. I'm hoping that the market recovers for a little while and you guys can play some good investments over here and time some not really time bottoms, but get in at a good price and a good discounted zone. Meta, as I said to you yesterday, this particular indicator, the Polaris Trend Indicator, got me in at 726.14. I bought a bunch of options, ran this thing down. I still haven't sold my shares yet. I'm up a massive amount. And I think this is almost the time where we can start saying, okay, we can come out of the woods and say we're safe on this one. But ultimately, I'm not releasing my shares until we hit the next point, right? 559.87, 517, somewhere in this zone, maybe 563, 559, somewhere in this zone, I think is a good time to start building a position. But we don't want to do that until we get maybe a daily confirmation. So right now on a weekly, Meta's not looking too great. It can still fall. And on a daily, look at this. We're still haven't gotten the signal yet. So even though I'm here and other YouTubers are going to say, oh, this is a great time to buy. Well, guess what? We didn't get any type of confirmation that it's time to buy. So it can go to 569. It can go to 561. The next point of support could be 442, 413. So I would rather buy in at a little bit lower price, significantly lower price if the market decides to get dumb and make Meta really cheap. So keep your eye on that. Microsoft. Oh, sorry, I didn't issue a buy, sell, or hold or wait. I'm going to say this one right now is still a wait, right? I think we established that. Sorry, that was Meta. Meta is a wait. Meta is a wait. Let's go to Microsoft. It is currently not a wait. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly is still showing bearish pressure to the downside. It could come into this order block. It could go a little bit lower. Actually, in after hours, yeah, no, not yet. 375 to 364. Next spot would be 341 to 321. That's wishful thinking. But ultimately, it still could. I think we're due for a short-term bounce. So I think we could potentially get to 436 somewhere in this zone and then roll back over. So right now on a weekly, it's not a buy. On a daily, it's saying it's a buy. So I would say follow the Polaris Trend Indicator. Be very nimble because it just issued a buy today. But maybe right now is a good time to start dollar cost averaging in. Maybe we are going to get a bigger move up to the upside, but just make sure that if the Polaris Trend Indicator on a daily turns red again, you have to protect yourself and get out of this trade immediately. SoFi Technology, love me some SoFi. I have a huge position of SoFi, 3,000 shares at $6. I put in the Polaris Trend Indicator, really sniped some great entries down here. I'll even go down to a monthly. Check this out. If you look at my indicator down here at around right here, around $6 or so, we opened up. I bought a pile of shares on a monthly time frame and watched this thing go up. On a weekly time frame, same thing. Look at this. I bought in around here, 646. And it absolutely has ripped up since. I'm up a ton of money on this right now, right? So where are we now, though? As of today, on SoFi, on a weekly time frame, we're not there yet. We could have come down, hit this order block, and now we're moving back up. So that is very promising. But as far as a weekly goes, not yet. But on a daily, we look like we're starting to rip. It could hit this resistance right here of $13 and roll back over. But I'm expecting it to go back to like $16. I think this is a buy. This is looking pretty good. Make sure to obviously keep an eye on the Polaris Trend Indicator. But SoFi, liking me some SoFi, right? Loving me some SoFi. Let's go to Palantir. Palantir, we're still getting a massive dump. But look at this on a weekly time frame. $86. This is the point. On a week to this week, PLTR is looking awesome. And guess what? We hit an order block right here. That's promising. And if we go to a daily, look at this. We're just building. Build your position here. It doesn't seem like it wants to go below 73 or 83, somewhere in that range. I wanted to buy a little bit in here. But right now, it looks like it's the time. It looks like it is the time to buy. So PLTR looking really good. I like PLTR. I just added this stock in here because I absolutely love URA. URA may be that's uranium. Might be the power of the future, just because with all of the AI and all the things that we need, we don't currently have power that will support all the technology that we have. Uranium might be the solution someday. So if you're a big fan of uranium, if you go on a weekly time frame right now, the good time to buy would have been $23.90, but we're up to $25, right? This is still a good buy. I would have rather see you go in there, but check this out. Daily also. We're issuing we're issuing URA as a solid buy, and I think it's a solid buy for the future. I think if you're one of those people that believes with me that uranium is going to be the future, I would start dollar cost averaging into uranium right now. SMH, semiconductors, it's going to be very similar to NVIDIA, which we already covered, but this looks like it came down into my discounted zone, and it's now starting to turn up. I think next week might be a good time to buy if you want to get in a little bit early. This also looks like a good time to buy. Start dollar cost averaging in. It could roll over from here, but it's starting to look promising. So semiconductors might be on their way back up. Let's go over to U.S. oil. U.S. oil, same thing. Weekly, not so great, right? We can get cheaper here. We can go to 65. We can go lower. You know, we can even go to 62, somewhere in there. It can get pretty bad. I've seen U.S. oil go to 0 during the pandemic. So oil's not really, it's very volatile. But as of today, according to the Polaris Trend Indicator, for the past few days, it's actually been a buy. It hasn't moved much. It's in consolidation period. But I think we may be breaking out at this point somewhat. So I would say this is a good time to maybe start dollar cost averaging in. Maybe you go into UCO or Gush or Oxy. This might be the right stock to do so. Bitcoin, everybody was down on Bitcoin, right? Everyone was saying, the dream's over. It's going to $60. There was some investor put a lot of money in on a short on Bitcoin, and he released his short yesterday. So as of today, we hit this discounted range. We kind of bounced off of it. Now we're moving back up. The weekly's starting to look promising. So maybe by next week, we'll have a bullish trade. But as of today, this is the time. This is the time. We would have put shares in here at 80,000 and 85,000. This is a good place for you to build a position. And it could certainly go back up to 106. It could hit 88 and roll over. You got to be nimble, especially when we're trading on the daily time frame. But ultimately, I'm going to say this is currently a buy. But just, keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on Bitcoin. Let's go over to Ethereum. Obviously, Ethereum's doing the same thing, right? So moving down the market, bearish pressure on the weekly. Daily, look at this. We got one massive green candle day. You couldn't have messed this up. If you woke up and the Polaris Trend Indicator was showing green, you couldn't have messed up this one day's trade, right? You would have put all your money in, and then next thing you know, obviously the market gave it back, but you would have made a little bit of profit here with the Polaris Trend Indicator, keeping you in the game. But as of now, 1900 was a good time to in my discounted zone to get back into Ethereum, and here we are. Let's look real quick. Sorry, I'm off the screen. But here we are now starting to break out. 1929 was a good time to buy back in. Polaris Trend Indicator on the weekly, obviously negative, but I still think on a short-term basis, it's a good time to buy, build a position. So that's that. Guys, we went through the whole list today. Thank you very much for all your time. Now, don't forget, $1 a day. It's roughly somewhere around $1 a day. The Polaris Trend Indicator on TradingView is the indicator that you need. It, as you could tell by my analysis, you get all the good trades that you want. It keeps you out of all the bad trades, keeps you patient. But just all I'm asking for is $1 a day, and we can head over here. And as you can see in all these stocks, just like this run on a weekly, like if you're just trading a weekly time frame, you would have been sniping long-term trades, right? You would have sold SPY, and you would be literally up 7% if you shorted the market here. So basically, go to indicators, write Polaris Trend by ticker the trader, and don't lose out. Get this indicator now. It's not a huge investment. It's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. So guys, thank you so much for your time, your patience. And I really, really appreciate you guys building this channel, watching me build this channel. And I'll see you same time tomorrow.